I've read the reference sheet.
Right.
You know, a couple of times. I've read the reference sheet, and I mean, I'm not gonna try to be all immersive and stuff. I want to learn, so I will just. I want to ask you questions. I want to review rules. I want to, you know, I don't. It's gonna be a real session. You know, we're gonna role play, but I want to as serious as it would be, you know. And feel free to ask questions and try things as well.
Oh, right? I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
All right. So yeah, let's go. Any question before we get going on anything?
Not really. No. I mean, I have our. I keep on hearing an echo. Are your speakers on by any chance?
No, I have earbuds.
Okay.
Earbuds is supposed to be no echo, but yeah, sometimes it.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I get that with other people too. It's not. Let's see. So yeah, I did. I brought up the notes from our hangout that we had where we talked about the rating and everything and our ideas. And let's see, I got my character sheet up. I've got the veil. So yeah, at this point, yeah, I mean, I've got the odd thing about the apparatus is I've only got one state unlocked. So she only has scared unlocked at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess as I gain experience, I can unlock other states. So she's a little bit strange for a character in that regard. Like most characters.
It's different. Yeah. So you have no other pluses or minuses.
Right. So she's always
1 or 0.
Yeah, she's always +1. I mean, I guess when you start an apparatus, you just like any other character, you assign those the +2 and the. So scared is +1 for her. And I did do that for a gaming reason. I just figured she's probably gonna be scared a lot, and so she's probably good at it. So, but
at the same time, you know this game, you can do it all the other way around as well. Do you know that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because you can be like, okay, so when I'm scared, I do -1.
Right.
But I will not choose the emotion according to the stat. I will role play according to what makes sense, and I will endure the stat that comes with it. Right? It's two different approach. So instead, for like you said, you took the approach. I think I did the same. I tried to go around. For example, my character should never be mad because his dogma in his religion is a little bit peaceful. So it's all about being, peaceful and stuff. So I took mad and I put +2 in it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I will never be mad. And every time I'll be mad, it will be a conscious roleplay choice of, okay, I'm going all in against my dogma to feel the consequences, but I'm going to have my +2 for that situation, right?
Right.
So, and peaceful, I put 0. Right. Because I didn't want to have something, because I'm not going to be minus when it is my religion, when it's about my religion, because it doesn't make sense why a character would have that. But at the same time, I could have put -1 at peaceful, because the reason why he wants it so much is because he can't achieve it, right? So that's why he's into that religion. So whenever he has to be peaceful all the time, he has to be the most of the time peaceful, but it's so hard for him. So it's -1, right? Instead of putting +2 there. So it's two different approach. I was reading the book, and the author, states it in a little paragraph. He explained a little bit, but it's interesting. I want to see, and if I don't feel it well, I will change. We can change the stat maybe after our first session.
Yeah, sure. That's cool. I think we're gonna learn a bunch of stuff no matter what. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And I'm not really envisioning her that every time she's scared, she's petrified. She's probably just on edge.
Yeah, nervous, on edge.
Because like we talked about before, I think the idea with this session is maybe it's 6 months or so before the whole group gets to get, or me and Anthony get together.
Yeah.
Or Cadmus, I should say. But the idea is maybe this is a week or something after she's found herself on the streets, and she's not really sure,
Okay. All right.
So it's not that exact moment, but she's maybe she's on the street, maybe she's in an abandoned building, wherever it is, something.
All right. So well, narrate me the beginning of your life in this world, and I will. My approach to GMing is that I let the player start. So you tell me where you are, how you do it, how you feel, and all that, and then I feed off your experience in the scene, and then I start building upon it.
Right on. And so, do we want to do this birth question for the apparatus now?
Oh yeah, we have to. Of course. Yeah. Of course, we have to. So it's always.
I'll roll these dice first.
Yeah. You're the one who rolls the dice, and then
I think. Yeah, and it's just a straight 2d6 roll. So let's see what happens. And I get a 7, so that's a weak hit, but it's a hit. So you can ask me one of those questions from the birth section of the apparatus playbook. Yeah, so I guess I'll narrate that into the opening scene, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a good way. Is there anything else out there like me?
Okay. That's a good one. So it's going to come to and I just for the first time become aware. I'm in a building. I think it's abandoned. It looks like the windows are blown out. I'm on the 3rd floor. And it's dark. It's winter. I realize I'm cold. I take a look at myself, and I can't remember how I got here.
You're naked.
I'm naked. So I'm scrambling around looking for clothes. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing here. I know my name. I know my name is Tess Morgan. And so I'm wandering around this factory. I find like a curtain. I wrap that around myself first, just to give myself some kind of warmth.
Outside, it's full of. Outside, the wind is blowing. It's early in the morning, so dawn.
Yeah.
And so it's dawn. There is a snow. It's one of the first snow of the year. So it's a snow, with big flakes that swirls and spins in the wind, and they are super big flakes, but it starts to accumulate in the corner of the walls, when it comes through the window, but it's of the broken windows and stuff like that. And outside in the you see a super wide parking lot, that becomes some kind of a field afterward, like at the edge of it, it's kind of like a long field, and in front of you, in the background, you have like these gigantic structures of buildings that seems to be built one upon the other, like big blocks in the background. It's completely deserted, and and there's like an empty highway that is a little bit like I don't know how to say that, but overpass kind of thing, right. Overpass highway, but that is broken on the side. So it created some kind of a twist into it, and it kind of fell on the side. And there is but there is no car crash, nothing. It's just empty, but it's just old. It's there. There is some gigantic construction robot that are parked there and are accumulating snow on top of it. They look like mech warriors, but they have it's kind of they're mech actually. They're mech bodies, but they have like big pinchers as hands. There is a few lights of security that are flashing. There is a little bit of air traffic circulation that goes toward the city in front of you, and the rag that you put on yourself is made of some kind. It's kind of like a, you know, these things that you cover cars with, you know,
Yeah.
to protect. So it's just like a big. I don't know how to say that in English, but it's just this big kind of tissue of it's almost like plastic and vinyl, and it smells like gas and oil and stuff. It's around you in this gigantic room that is completely abandoned. There is like a old sink in the back. There's some tools on the ground. The tools are like mechanic tools kind of thing, and there is big. The ceiling is something like 25 feet or something like that. It looks like an emporium, gigantic emporium, and there is like on the wall just a big stack of how do you guys call that in English? Let me find my English. You know, at school when you go and you have a locker, just a big wall full of lockers, and yeah, it's completely empty. The only smell is a smell of air. You know, when it's snow outside and it has the special smell.
Yeah.
It's mixed with dust and oil and humidity.
Wow. I look at the swirling snow. It's fascinating. I know it's snow, but I don't think I've ever actually seen snow before. And I look up at the mechs and at the lights. So the place isn't totally abandoned. I wonder myself, let me kind of say out loud, like, where are all the people? I'm kind of looking at the city in the horizon. Is this the city in the horizon? Does that start to look populated, or does that look abandoned as well?
It's completely lighted with lights. The air traffic in that direction that goes in both ways on top of you. A little bit of traffic. It's still early in the day.
Right. So what am I doing?
It's completely lighted in the distance.
What am I doing this far from Appalachian Heights? And why do I know that's Appalachian Heights? And then I start to remember, just kind of start to have this flashback of like a fire and like in a room kind of like where we're at, but just smaller. And a lot of glass containers, a lot of big almost like pods or something. But I really couldn't tell because there's flames everywhere. And there's at least one other person just on fire. And I think it was somebody like me. And I just remember running. I remember people screaming, and I don't remember anything else about that. But I know there was more than one of me. But I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Why would it? Of course, there's more than me. There's billions of people on the planet. But something about that was important. I wish I knew what. Right now, I wish there was some food around because I think I'm hungry.
Will you start musing like that in your with your head and your imagination? You hear right behind you, ping 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 ping, some kind of like, and you know, like somewhere, and then as you turn around, you see three like tugged out guy, you know, dressed like punks with colors, you know, and chains around their neck and stuff like that. But they have like digital thing, like the light going brr, 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 and then there's a design in neon light, and when it accelerates, and then it starts to create a swirl here, and it says fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and then brr, and then come back, and then fuck you. About every 15 seconds. It's this non-stop animation. It's a fuck you chain. You have a memory right there that you saw. Um, um, do you agree with me injecting memory in you like that, Bone? Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Because it's I don't do that, but your character I can, because it's part of a concept, right? Because it's you have a memory experience as well, right? So by injecting some of those memory like that, it creates an interesting narrative thing. But I will not do it with Entity though, because I will never do that to another kind of character. But anyway, so you agree with that? So you have a memory that comes back. You saw in the Veil online. You saw online that these chains were on sale, very cheap, for like 10 creds. You know, and it's just a flash. You go, oh shit, yeah, those were on sale for 10 creds. And then so the sound that goes taka 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 is that one of these thugs has a club in his hand and he's just rubbing it on the lockers. Taka 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 taka, and they look at that, guys, boys, we got a chick, right? You lost yourself, baby girl. You lost yourself. And the other one says, yeah, she's fine too. You know, one is kind of fat. He's probably like 300 pounds. You know, like, you know, so fat that the knees are bent in when he walks. And then on top of that, he wears his pants really low. So it's like it's like he's making these baby steps when he's trying to walk. And and in one hand he has a bag, and with the other hand he's always like bringing his pants up. He's wearing like this big poncho, and it's kind of like an holographic design. So when he walks, goes in vinyl, and he's shaved, completely shaved, like us.
Yeah.
And he has like an holographic tattoo that goes around his head like that. And as you get closer, it's written, "The Veil watch you." And then it goes back again, and then the Veil watches you on his head like that. And the leader, the one in the middle, the one in the front, you know, like he has his hand in, he has like a long jeans trench coat, black, all ragged up with all kinds of labels and punk signs and stuff written on it. And he walks towards you. He has like 3 line of mohawks like that.
Right. But
they're fake, because as you get closer, sometimes there's a glitch in the animation and they disappear and they come back. It glitches. You know, it's poor cybernetics. Poor cybernetics do that all the time. That's something, you know, you say to yourself, you know, it's something you remember. And he as you get closer, he takes his hands off his pockets and he goes like that, and there is like in the forearm here, there is like a needle, a long needle, aluminum needle that goes up on both sides. It's like, okay, so tick tick tick, he goes swing swing, and he starts kind of rubbing them. It's like, okay, so now let's see what we can do. Let's have some fun. What's your name? And they right now they are about I will talk in foot. They're probably, you know, 30 feet away.
That 10 meters?
10 meters? I don't know, 10 meters, 30 feet, probably, yeah, something like that.
It's close. You can give me meters. I can do meters.
Okay, do meters. Okay, 30 meters.
Yeah.
So they're 30 meters away
from
the room, and they walk slowly towards you.
Well, at this point, I decide I'm gonna invoke some mechanics here. I think I'm gonna do an analyze move.
Okay, the probe. Oh, analyze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's on the reference to basic moves. So I'm gonna when I use that I have at my disposal to assess the place or situation. Like, I realize I'm looking at these guys thinking, you know what? Their cybernetics are terrible. They're wearing sheep bandoliers that they got on sale. I don't know why I know that I could get money for having sex with them, but I realize they're not going to pay me. And so I'm thinking to myself, this is a no-win situation for me. So my thoughts are, how do I get out of here intact?
Mm. Wait. What's your state? Do you have a state? You know, what's your state?
My state is afraid.
Yeah, so oh, it's always gonna be on that.
Always gonna be afraid.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
So I get that's 9, so it's a 10. So that's the actual hit. Which says
you get a +1 forward if you act upon what I tell you.
Right.
In the next scene. Yeah.
Right, I gotcha. Okay. So so I can ask 3 questions of these.
Yeah.
So where's my best way out that I can see? And let's see.
Well, there's a door. There's an opening behind you. There's an opening behind you, and they are on the other side of you. So you are, you have an opening behind you. That's the best way.
Let's see. Which one of them looks
like... You see, I just realized something. Sorry to interrupt you. I will narrate the answers instead of just saying. So behind you, there is like a gigantic, like a big door. It's not necessarily, it's a garage door, but it's not like a long garage. It's more like a rectangle, large rectangle. Probably, like 10 meter large, and there's a long corridor that and there's on the right side of it, there's a hole in the wall of the building, so it leads outside. You can jump. It's 3-story high, but there is a hole there, so the building is crumbling on the side, and this is the best way out of there. It's the opening behind you.
Yeah. Okay. And let's see. I just got trying to think which one of these guys is the biggest threat, and then is there anything that appears out of place? So those are my 2 other questions.
The leader in front of you is the taller, the more athletic, the closer, and he has these 2 spikes coming out of his hands.
I think I knew that answer already. I didn't think it was the 300-pound guy.
and what's the other? Anything appear out of that? Yeah. Well, no. Other than 3 thugs in an abandoned building, right outside the city. Nothing more, nothing special about that.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, my intention is to bolt for that hole in the wall.
All right, that's a risk, right?
Right. So
you want to just let me know what you say. You want to jump outside. You want to jump outside.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So my intention is to bolt at that hole. I realize I'm 3 stories up, so my intention is to jump out of there and try to grab anything on the side of the building to stop my fall. Try to in that split second as I'm running out, see if there's a good place for me to land. Anything like that.
That's a risk.
That was a risk. So I will roll and see what happens. Oh, and that is a 5, so that is still a miss.
Oh, so I get to narrate everything. So as we turn around and start running, the fat guy behind you drops the bag that he has in his hand, and in the bag there is like a whip, and it's like a long neon, and he goes like that with the whip, grabs you by the feet, and the thing just elongates, grabs you by the feet, and then he on a swift motion with his short, fat arm like that, and it drag you back right at the feet of the leader, with the spikes like that. Puts his foot on your chest, and the spike next to your face is like, "Where do you go? You're leaving already. Come on, the party just gets started."
So I'm on my back thinking to myself, shit. This is exactly the position this bastard wanted me in.
But now, I wonder, because if we go into a fight, it's called the duels. It's the duel move.
Right.
It's a move, so it's not a combat system. Now,
right, exactly.
The idea is that do I have like my NPC? Does he have stats? So I put zeros or ones or minuses. How am I supposed to do it? Do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would go. My gut level instinct is say go 0, and
yeah, that's what I think. Because if I give a +1 to thugs, I mean, what am I gonna what am I gonna do with buses and robots? So, and I cannot go beyond what the players have, because otherwise I break the game. Anything. So
yeah, I mean, but I can tell you, look at this. I don't have the upper hand. I don't know that I'm better trained for them, and I have no equipment. Well, does my equipment give me a particular advantage for the conflict?
Yeah, now that's interesting, because your character, his whole body is his equipment.
Yeah, roll button. Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity to. So I'm gonna do a duel. Can I force you into a duel?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sure.
Because you can you leave the duel whenever you want? Let's say we fight, and then
let me see. I'll have to open this up. You see, now if you're watching this later on, if we ever broadcast this is the part where we look shit up because we don't know what we're doing yet.
Yeah.
Which is cool. This is how you learn a game.
It's important.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to close up this reference sheet and open up this the actual veil and see if I can find that, because it's been a while since I read that part.
It's in the duels. There is a paragraph. It's kind of short.
Right. All right. Yeah. All right. 67. All right. I'm not sure if I can. I'm sure I can leave. It might be a different. That might be a different move.
Yeah. It's a risk. If you leave, it's a risk. But if we are in the middle of the duel,
right?
They will not fight you because they want to rape you. So it's not. So I will keep going, and you do whatever you do. They don't want to fight you. You're a naked, beautiful girl in their eyes, right? So
right.
So the dude is so the leader has his spike toward you, and at this moment the other guy, the smaller guy, grabs you by the shoulder, and he says to the fat one, tie her legs together, it'll be easy, she won't move. And then he grabs your leg and starts to try to wrap the whip around your ankles.
Right. I gotcha. Let's see.
And the other one keeps the spike next to your face. Just don't move, baby girl. It just will make the matter worse.
Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to neutralize this threat, because actually that's the move I'm gonna use here, is neutralize. So I'm gonna use force to attempt to neutralize the threat or take control of the situation. So really what I'm trying to do at this point is get away, probably by kicking the guys who are actually holding me. So the fat guy, I guess he must not really have the rope must be. Is it still on?
The rope, yeah. Now
Okay.
he's but it was just on one foot,
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
he wants to wrap the both of them.
So I'm going to try to come around one of those moves, which I'm not going to attempt here in person, but where the person has their legs up and they do that big roundhouse thing where they try to kick all three people, not enough to really hurt them, but just to knock them all away, so I can get up and start running like probably the way they came in at this point,
Okay.
Trying to do one of those really athletic things where you spin your legs around and that whole momentum makes you stand up and then just start sprinting.
Yeah, I see.
And so I'm going to pray that I roll better than a 4 this time. That's my intention. Oh, holy! I roll a 12. So.
All right. So you narrate me the way you deal with the situation.
Let's see. Well, let's see. I generate 3 holds, 1 for 1, and they're in the scene to inflict harm, take away an advantage, suffer alarm, force. Huh.
Yeah, you have to use your olds.
Right. Exactly. What I want to do, because I have 3 hold, I use 1 hold to impress my opponents. So I just want them, my intention is for them to be like, holy shit,
Right.
what just happened? And the other thing is to take away an advantage. So I'm going to spend 2 hold, and I want to take away their advantage because they clearly have the advantage over me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So my idea is by having done that, they'd all stop for a second, like, holy shit. And then in the meantime, that gives me just enough time to start sprinting. Maybe I'm not at the door yet, but I've got a little bit of a lead. While they all just stand there dumbfounded.
All right.
I probably at this point I've dropped the whatever I wrapped around myself. So I'm just a naked woman in a cold building running away from 3 thugs.
All right. So narrate me how you do it, and the way it looks, the sound it makes, and all your jazz, and then we go from there. I'll go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. So just as the fat guy was trying to tie that rope around my legs, I lift up the leg that doesn't have it on it, and twist my body in that way just to kind of get both my legs going. I mean, I slap him right in the face with my foot, and it keeps going around. Hits the guy with the spikes in the side of the head. I catch the other guy in the gut with my other foot, and I just kind of somersault up. Thinking to myself, wow, that was pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that. The rope comes off, and I'm just running.
The 3 guys, the 3 guys are falling apart on the ground, surrounding you, like from with a view from the top, it looks like a star.
Right.
And your legs spinning around, and then you run, and then running away naked in the building. And the only thing you run so fast. You run so fast that the only thing you can hear, that the only thing you have time to hear is what the what the fuck. They try to say what the fuck, but they get what the fuck, and then you already run away, and you leave this gigantic room. You go across this room so fast. On the other way around, you arrive into a big staircase. Some are going up, some are going down. The side of the wall is all glass windows, and in the background, all you see is the gigantic composition of building in the distance, with the snowstorm that's getting stronger and stronger, and all the object in the ground going toward the city is starts to be whiter than it was when you take your first look a few minutes ago, and that window goes all the way to the top of the building, to the bottom, and when you go closer, you can see all the way down, the stairs, and you can see that it's when you're looking up, you can see that it's almost like 10 more story high.
Wow. Well, I don't want to go up because I don't want to be trapped. This place looks deserted. But if I go outside, I'm going to freeze to death sooner or later. So, but if I stay still, I'm screwed. So, let's see if I can get anything. I want to try to use the mechanics as much as possible here.
Yeah, of course. But the game runs on moves anyway.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise, it's yes, yes, yes. You got it. Go. Tell me how it is. Unless you make a move, it's just narration. It's the conversation.
Right, exactly. Just look and see if there's something. Social risk. Well, and is the veil on at all in here? That's one thing. I'm wondering if I.
The veil is always on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's anything I can do with my character that's going to. No, let's see. No, that's just a wrong. I guess I'm going to start running down the stairs at this point.
All right, so you run down the stairs. You know, all the floors look the same. You know, every time you reach a new floor, you see the same kind of door on the side of the staircase, and the staircase is really white. You know, everything. The walls are white. The light is exacerbated. You know, because of the lighting, the sun. You know, the light outside gets the minute, and when you go down all the stories, you arrive at the ground level. The ground level is you know, it's been like offices. You know, it looks like there was offices on the ground level.
Right.
But it's been ravaged and rampaged and, you know, destroyed and, you know, vandalized. So right now it looks like a squat, gigantic squat. And there's like old on the right. When you enter that room, it smells like alcohol, smells like piss, it smells like ammoniac, smells really disgusting. There is on the right side, there is like old couches that have been torn apart, you know, like traveler bags in one corner. There is a like empty mattresses, you know, that are like yellowed by time and feces and stuff. And there is when you look in one, particularly on your right side, there is a corner. And in that corner, you know, there's vomit and there's you see the wall. You know, the corner of the wall is blacked out because people go piss there. They go piss and shit in that corner. And the in front of you, you know, across the whole building, it's really interesting because when you enter that room, you leave the whiteness of the staircase with the window, gigantic window that let all the light in, and you enter like a really dark, with a low ceiling, really long black environment. You know, the room, it's really, the ceilings are low and it's really dark because there's no light. And at the end, yeah, there is the facade, the windows that are smaller at the end in front of you. I don't have in the distance, and it's like a white rectangle, and all you see is the snow that falls in the distance. It's completely empty. Nobody's there. Silence.
Crap. I am trapped. Let's see. And do I hear them coming down at all or no?
No, if you would have done, I would have told you.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm gonna try to lift the veil. See if I can turn the illusion off and see what's really real here. So I guess. All right.
So how do you narrate that?
I realize I know, and I'm not sure how I know that. I know that there's the veil is superimposing illusion on top of whatever the reality is here. I know I can turn it off.
Okay, so your character knows that the veil is an illusion that is superimposed.
Right.
Your character knows that, right?
I think so.
It's not.
I thought everybody knew that.
So it's not an intuition. He knows that. So
right.
Tess will bring that to the game. She knows that.
Right.
Okay.
But I know I can turn it off, although I know it's dangerous to do it for very long.
Okay,
I don't know why, but I know you're not supposed to.
So your character knows all that. All right.
I know that makes you. I know that's like a red flag, or like that something can find you if you do that, but or something notices. So I'm just going to turn it off just for a second. I don't know how I can do this. It just seems odd to me that I would be able to do that. But I rolled a 7 with a, because I'm doing that. I'm scared, so I'm gonna get that plus. So yeah, let's get a 7. So at this point, okay. So I guess you're gonna only give me an impression, and you have to ask, and you're gonna ask me some questions too. So I guess the veil's trying to find something out about me.
Well, you lift the veil on a 7 or 9. The MC will give you an impression.
Right.
So you don't have any question. I just give you an impression of something, right?
I believe so, yeah. But on any roll, you asked me a question or two.
Oh yeah, on any roll, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to see my
what kind of question?
Yeah, I don't know. My intuition for lifting the veil in the first place, or my intention for lifting the veil in the first place, just to see if there's anything I'm not seeing. Is there anything that's an illusion in this area? You know, not just the little dark area I'm in, but like outside with the mechs or anything else. Is there anything that's not real? I want to see what's really out there if I run out there.
Okay. I just heard the echo. I understand what you're saying, but I don't know what question I can ask you. It's like,
well, let me open up the book and see.
Okay, I will take a look in the book as well, because I have no idea.
Yeah. Let's see. I believe there's a lifting the veil. Lift the veil, page 52. All right. So I'm not sure if that means that you asked me. It sounds like you're going to ask me something about reality as well. Like here in this example, after the game master said that answer the question about the corporation, then it asked the player what other corporations were bidding on the same model. So I'm assuming this means that as the MC is supposed to be asking questions about having the player fill in some information about it as well. I don't know. It's a little vague.
It's a little vague. Okay. But it says that I give you an impression.
Right.
So the impression that I will give you is that there's no significant change whatsoever in the distinction it makes, when you do so. So I will narrate that for you afterward. And the question, give me a second. Okay. I will ask you. Okay, so let me do it like I would do it. So when you start the procedure of lifting the veil, there is it's not a voice, it's not feminine. It's kind of like a voice that, the voice in your head when you try to go to sleep and you talk to yourself. It's
Right.
not a clear narrative. It's not your voice necessarily. It's not necessarily a woman's voice or a man's voice. It's just a narrative kind of thing. And so you kind of hear that in not in your ear, but in your soul. So it's kind of like in the middle of your mind. And it's what it says. It says lifting the veil is forbidden. Doing so, the user agrees on recrimination. And so it's just a warning. And then it, that it's the veil always says that anytime you try to do that. So you've heard that before. It's not new for you. And by lifting the veil, the only thing that happens, it's in a blink. It's when you close your eye. It doesn't become dark. It's that you see again. You see through, kind of thing.
Right.
And nothing is significantly different.
Okay.
And so outside all you see is the snow falling, and the walls are black, and the room is empty, and it's all raggedy, tacky, squatter like. How do you feel about that?
About which part?
About the fact that there's no significant difference.
I feel relieved. Thought that maybe some of this was illusory, but I think I might have a way out of here. So I feel relieved that there was no real significant change. Although I'm surprised because the veil is everywhere. There's always an enhancement. There's no enhancements here. I can't imagine who would have just turned them off. Even when things are decrepit and falling down, they're still on.
I'm not saying that there was no veil. The veil has been lifted. It's just that there was nothing. There's no difference between what's under it, and there's no significant difference between the two.
Right. I'm surprised because there's always. I'm thinking to myself, there's always an enhancement. There's always an illusion somewhere. It's there, but it shouldn't look just the same. So I'm confused. I'm very confused.
You start to hear echoes of voices and shouts that comes 3-story higher.
Right. Well, I'll be right back, but I know what I'm gonna do. So my plan is to run outside and to see if I can steal a mech. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Never even played Mech Warrior. So that's my plan, is to run outside and start running towards one of the mechs. That looks like the probably the only piece of operational machinery around here.
So yeah, so that's a risk.
That is a risk. Alrighty. So what am I gonna call? What kind of risk am I gonna call? Let's bring up the right sheet again here. So okay. Yeah, so my intention is to run right outside and get into one of the mechs, and either I want to see either what's in the cab, because really what I want is clothes, but if I need to, I can get out of here, one way or the other. Clearly this is a bad situation. I need to get to the city. That is an 8 with being scared.
If you just want to, you want to steal that thing, right? You want to, yeah. So that's a what? I'm sorry.
That's an 8.
That's an 8
with the
All right. So narrate me how you go about that, and then I will narrate you the complication.
Okie dokie. So I run outside and go out the main door. It's freezing. As soon as my feet hit the snow, that feeling. You go outside in the snow barefoot, where you're like, oh crap, it's a bad idea, and you're not sure if it's pain or whether you just hope your feet go numb. So I'm running as fast as I can towards one of these machines. The body of it is just that cold metal.
Yeah, cold metal, and on the side of it there is a embedded in the leg, these ladders.
Right.
It's just a really small ladder. It's just tubes that goes up. Right. And the thing is about, I would say, it's high like a tree. It's high like a house.
Right.
It's a two-story high house. Nothing, and it's not super big. So probably, two-story bungalow. Right. And the cabin is so the thing has no neck. Right. The cabin is like in between on the chest, right? It's kind of like on the chest, in between those big arms, those big pinchers that are in front of it, like that.
Right.
So when it's closed, the arms, just the pinchers goes in the front like that, clack. And so the cabin is like where my head is, like that. And so you climb, and the cabin, but the cabin is locked.
Right.
And so the door is locked. And at this time, you see the guys running outside the building, but they have friends now. So there's 6 of them. So they are so you run so fast that you reached the mech earlier.
Right.
The mech is it's a really simple design thing. It is made to be automatic. The cabin is really small. The only reason why there is a cabin is when it goes in repair and doesn't work anymore, so you go in manual mode. So right. the mechanic goes in. It's the only reason why there's a reason for a cabin. Everything is automated, wireless. So the thing is locked, and the middle, the middle of the mech is all scratched and bumped and tacky and raggedy, because it's been breaking concrete for a long time. And as you reach outside the building, realize that the side of the building, the highway used to pass, as an overpass next to it, and that these mech are actually slowly destroying the highway. So there's a mech on each side of the highway. Right. And both of them have their pinchers like that, and they kind of just break the highway. So you see on the horizon outside that the highway kind of stopped at the building because it's been destroyed all the way there, and they kind of go all the way to the city. So the part that leads to the city is still you know, there, broken down, tacky, but they are slowly destroying it. You know, marching down the highway toward the city. So these guys are, you know, you scared them enough when you that they say, okay, we're not going to be able to rape that female easily. So they took their time, and they called their friends, and now there's 6 of them outside. And they you know, but at the same time they're not running towards you like all cannibals and stuff. They kind of look at you, and they are, you don't hear what they say because they're far away. It's, you know, the mechs are, you know, 200 meters away from the building, so they're 200 meters away from you. And but it's not super cold neither. It's not like I don't know if you know Celsius. Do you know Celsius?
Yeah.
So it's like -2, -3. You know, it's not -25. You know, it's still, we are in let's say early December, right? So it's not super cold. So it's like -2, -3. There's a good wind, but it's so these guys are outside, you know, wearing their jacket and everything is fine, but they see you naked though. So they kind of, you know, they go outside, and one of the guys kind of just put his arm in front of the other dude, and they talk to each other, and they push each other, and they kind of start a mini brawl between themselves, and the other guy is pointing, and you hear some shouting in the distance, you know, through the wind. And that's the situation. I'm sorry. Yes. So you're on the mech. You see these guys, and they start slowly walking toward you.
Right. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to analyze here, and what I'm analyzing really is, I don't know if it's these questions are really applicable, but really what I'm trying to do is to figure out if there's any way to get into that cabin. Like if there's any way I can figure out how to break it, and also if there's any kind of external interface on the outside of this machine. You know, really kind of analyze like what are my options here. You know, if I have any way to still get this machine operational. So I'm not sure if that's an analyze move or what that is.
I think so. It must be analyze. At the same time, I'm wondering, is that necessary? If you want to break the window, right?
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, I'll try to break the window.
I want to know, there's no risk about that at all. You just break it. I don't care.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was my other. You know
what I'm saying? It's not important. It's not relevant. And it's now we are learning that there's an overuse of move when you want to do something as simple as breaking a window, and you know that you can, right? Because you are an apparatus. If you are a human, I would say there's a risk, but you're an apparatus, so you just break that window, right?
All right. Well then, okay, I'll narrate it this way. Instinctively, I see them coming. I smash the window with my elbow, and break it. And I'm not even really thinking about it until I've already kind of squeezed my way into the cockpit, thinking to myself that should be impossible. I shouldn't be able to do that. But for some reason, I just did it. You know, just like you would go, you know, push aside a piece of paper.
Yeah, and on top of that, you do know how that works, and so you just get in and start using it. You start you push the right button. You know exactly, everything makes sense to you.
Right.
You sit in that thing. You put the warming seats. You utilize the mech, and then when the mech starts, it goes and then and all the lights climbs up, and the thing opens up. So the pincers just opens up like that. You see the guys they stop walking, and they turn around, and they go back in the building. Another guy says, "Nah, I'm not going." And you see the fat guy rolling in the snow, losing his pants, and then the bag falls off, and the other guys, and they start rolling. So the fat guy tries to keep going, but his pants actually like torn apart, like, and you see his butt, you know, from the back, and then you and now and then it says there's a voice in your head saying mech number 23C25, a highway mobilization project date 252, senior engineer, and then senior engineer Sir Don Andre Kayevkovsky, you know, not outside operational procedure, please enter command.
Right.
So that's, yeah, and then that's what you have in your mind, and you know because you're an apparatus. I never do that. It's really weird for me. I never GM saying the player what they know, but it's interesting because now I can do it.
Right.
I can do it because of your character. So it's really I hate that. I just want to make a parenthesis here, is a tangent, is some GM do that all the time.
Oh yeah, it drives me crazy.
It drives me completely crazy. But now I can do it a little bit because you're at the beginning of your career as an apparatus, like you're beginning of your conscious experience. But I will not overutilize that in the future. But today I just wanna reinforce the fact that there's stuff you know. It's almost like an amnesia, right?
Right.
So you also know that by opening up that mech when it's not supposed to, you know, security drones are gonna show, you know, in a few.
Right.
But that's so that you know, because it says enter command outside of normal procedure. Right. So that's how you.
So crap. And I'm thinking to myself, how did it? Of course, I'm like, how did I know that? And I swear, right until that moment, it didn't occur to me. I don't. So I'm looking at these guys running away from me like ants at this point, and I realize what I really need more than anything else is some clothes. And so I'm gonna look for the guy that's closest to my size and try to pick him up or corner him with a mech.
Yeah. You can narrate. You can narrate it.
Yeah. So I'm getting this guy away from everybody else. You know, as you know, maybe he's stumbling, and I get in front of him, and I use the external speakers of the mech. And I put the pincher just right on him, so he can move. But if he really tried to get away, I could crush him. And forgive me, I say, your clothes, give them to me.
And you see, it's the leader of the pack. You know, the athletic one, the taller one. He has a long jean trench coat with collars and punk style stuff. He has like jogging pants. You know, jogging pants that are gray. They're dirty, full of stains.
Right.
And there's on the side of the leg. You know, it's like a sports like Adidas. There's line, yeah, right. But it's written the Veil on the side, and he under it he has a white T-shirt full of stain, and he has like a red scarf around his neck, and some gloves that has no finger.
Right.
So that's so he starts, and whenever at the moment when you put the pincers in front of him, he starts to move fast. He gets naked. He's cold when he take off the shirt. He's cold. He's trying to take off the belt and the pants. He has boots. This like combat boots,
right?
Black, with some spray can, you know, orange, like fluo orange and green on the side of it, and then he's like and then he tries to take away the boots, jumping on one leg, and then when he managed to get it out, he falls on his back and his butt, and you see you see his leg falls in the back, and then the fat guy is running and he's grabbing him, and they're trying to move away and go back into the thing, and you have the clothes in the snow in front of you.
Right. And so I just shout like, "Get out!" and I wait for them to run away, so I can, you know, nimbly run down the side of this mech and put his clothes on as fast as I possibly can, just ignoring the smell. Mm-hmm. But I know I only have minutes to get out of here, away from this mech, because I know the probes are coming. I don't know why I know this, but I know that, you know, what I want, I just want to be able to stay warm. I can make my way to the city, but I just got to get away. You know, I've got to get away from this mech, and I know I've got to have clothes on because I just won't survive.
So you start running toward the city, jogging, you know, under the overpass, because you know that the drones are not gonna see you under necessarily, and you just run. The thing is that the city is kind of far, but you manage to run at the same pace without catching a sweat, without changing a heartbeat, without changing your heart rate, and you jog like that and you know that as you run, the miles starts piling, and you know how much mile, you know the exact distance. It's like a feeling inside of you, the experience of a feeling that you know the distance. You know what it is. It's not even something that appears in the corner of your eye or the digital thing. It's just a feeling, you know. And you run, and after 5 hours of running nonstop, you actually, arrive at one point. There was the parking, the gigantic parking lot. Then there was like this field, and then as you run, the light outside gets clearer. The day starts, after, and you arrive at the city around noon, and basically you just run under that overpass. You all you see, you run fast, kind of. You probably, the speed you run is like the speed of being on bike. And the only people you see as you get closer to the city, you see junkies and squats and punks and stuff like that. And in the under the overpass, some people, squatters, that lives there, but you pass them super fast. Some have make fires and empty barrels and stuff, and they kind of get warm around that, and then eventually you arrive in the city. As you get closer to the city, there's more traffic. There's more air traffic. There's more ground traffic as well, and you start to see buses, and then you start to see cars, and you start to see cleaner streets, but still it's the sprawl, right? So it's really dirty, and there's a lot of police. When you start to see police security, you start to see what's SecureX, SafeX. When you start to see SafeX, when you start to see SafeX uniform and SafeX drones and SafeX robot and car, and then eventually you arrive in the apps. People call it the apps. Everybody calls it the apps. It's written everywhere as the apps. The Appalachianites. People call it the apps. Yeah. And it's the Jersey district.
The Jersey district.
Yeah, Jersey district. Yeah. So in front of you, you have streets that goes north and south, east and west, and streets have numbers. So it's you kind of like at the corner of 42 streets and 125 Avenue. And so around you, there's people walking in the streets, some drones flying above the mid-waist, and people sometimes bumps into them, and they keep going, and the ground level, it's stores, all kinds of stores. You have cyberware stores, you have clothing stores, you have a lot of snack bar where people go and eat a little bit. It's all you have some with people serving you, actual people serving you. That tradition is still going on, but you will also have places where it's all robots and just counters, just long ass counters with lights. There is like what's the Jesus, I don't even remember the company I created.
Yeah, I'm looking on the page now.
You have a Gardex or SafeX. No, you have SafeX. You have quelque chose.
That says Ludix, SafeX, and LifeX.
LifeX.
Is all the...
So LifeX has a chain of completely robotized restaurant,
right.
super cheap. It's called McD's, and it's mech and D's, you know, and it's written MC''DEEZ, Z,
right,
and it's all yellow, red, and white, and they play with the colors, and when you get close to it, it smells something. So it's really hard. If we were playing D&D, now I'm making a joke here, but if we were playing D&D, you will have to make a will save every time for not going to eat.
Right.
But anyway, so that's the situation. So you have a McD's along the counter. The McD's counter makes the whole corner of the street. Super long counter, and there's a lot of people around it, and lineups and people chit chat, and there's like a fight that starts. There's like a brawl between two guys. One guy's, on the right side, he starts to say, "Hey, you don't push me in the line, hey, you asshole! You took my place." And this is the kind of stuff you hear around. The sides of the building is full of images. It's like screens. The buildings are like screens. It's augmented reality that shows you all kind of information and publicity and all that. When you enter the district, there is in your mind there is an information bulletin, like a media bulletin information that starts talking about the fact that the workers are on strike again in the apps, and that there is riot, on the... What's the number of levels we were talking about? We're talking about levels in that game, right?
Oh yeah, there was something like 25.
Okay, yeah. Sprawl, bourgeoisie, and corporate.
Right.
But what the lower the obvious? So I would say so between... Is it like 3 levels? Let's say like 9 levels. 3 sprawl, 3 bourgeoisie, and 3 corporate.
Yeah.
So there is riots on level 3. Between level 3 and 4, so that there is news talking about the fact that the riots are still going, and it's been going for like 6 months, and there's no retaliation, and no deals has been made between the bosses and the workers, and that's all over the news, and that's why there's more. That's why there's more SafeX officers everywhere in the streets and stuff.
Well, so I'm listening to this whole spread of news, looking at the restaurant, and so I know I need to eat, but important, I need to get some more appropriate clothes because I can't just walk around like this forever. I don't know why I shouldn't be wearing this, but I know that they're not going to help me. And I have this feeling that I should go find a more upscale restaurant, but not to eat at, but I think I could work at the one. But I want to see if I can if I actually have any cred. And I think we talked about in the hangout, if I remember correctly, that like the cred was never like actually physical. It was just some kind of like, and if I recall correctly too, in the game, they're not real specific about cred, but I guess like most things cost 1 cred, like really, and then like 3 cred is like crazy amount, crazy expensive.
Yeah. So I would say because we talked in the conversation that we would utilize the same amount of cred as real money.
Right.
But the game though is specific. 1 cred you can do so many things. I think it's easier that way. So to keep track of. So
just wondering if I have any. I haven't even thought to myself. So do I actually have any resources? So I'm just gonna. I know I can just check my account just in my head.
Yeah. Well, you have. I mean, You know what? I will make it interesting. You have 1,000 creds.
1,000 creds? What the hell do I have 1,000 creds for? So I'm standing there now in this punk outfit in the middle of the street in front of Mickey D.
And I'm like, this is true amnesia because you could have called a taxi.
Right. So yeah, I'm in there. And so as people are walking by me, they might think that something's wrong with me, like I'm high, or that I've seen a ghost, or I'm crazy, because I'm just there with a blank stare, and I'm thinking to myself, who am I? I mean, I know my name. I know my name is Tess Morgan, but what am I? Because I'm thinking, I start to thinking to myself, I just ran 5 hours without stopping. It's like, people don't do that. And then I'm thinking, why do I have all this money? So the fact that I'm starving at this exact moment and standing in front of a restaurant is now, I'm just, the snow is just falling on my face, and I'm not doing, I'm just standing there like, what in the world is going on?
Passing it at the same time while you have this musing about yourself. There's a guy. He has like a hoodie. You know, he has like the edge of his black hoodie is bluish, kind of like with neons. It's a hoodie trench coat kind of thing, really long. He's wearing like a one piece, black leather one piece under it. That thing, and it's clean cut. It's raggedy, you know. But it's tailor made. He has these boots that goes almost to the knee, strapped on like that. You don't see much of his face, and he's cornering you from the right side, and says, "Hello, dear. I haven't seen you in the neighborhood. Are you new around here?"
Oh, yeah, yes.
You seem like you seem a little lost. Are you looking for something?
I'm just wondering, is there a good women's clothing store around here?
That was actually my next question. But hey, I'm Joran. What's your name? And he gives you his hand like that.
Yes, and I just kind of gingerly give him my hand, but squeeze probably a little bit too hard for a woman.
He smiles at you. He says, "Oh, that's a nice grip. Well,
thank you.
Indulge me into some shopping. Follow me. I know a nice place for a woman of your, well, for an individual of your expertise." And he smiles at you a little bit in the corner, and it starts, you know, he's kind of showing you the way with his hand like that. And then so you guys are walking on the sidewalk, you know, in between people, and Joran is like, "Are you close to God, Tess?
Close to God?
Do you have God in perspective?"
Oh. This is that moment where I'm going to probe Joran. I use the probe move.
All right.
So let's see. So I realize I should be suspicious of his motives at this moment, but you know, I'm not. I'm just on edge. I'm not scared of him like I was of the guys who are clearly trying to rape me. I'm just wondering what's up with this guy. So I just want to find out like what's his motive here, or does he really want me to just take me clothes shopping, or is there some other agenda he has? But let's see. I do roll a 9, so hold 1, so I can ask you one question. So my question really is, what do you intend to do?
Yeah. So narrate me how you ask that question to Joran.
So as we're walking, you start asking me about God. It's like, why do you ask? Are you really just going to take me clothes shopping? You don't want anything else?
No, my dear. Oh no, I really just want to get to know you and maybe maybe help you and introduce you to God, you know, and to share my experience with you and maybe bring you into the fold.
Oh well.
Why are you so suspicious?
Well, the last man I encountered tried to rape me. So, or they might have tried to kill me. Their clothes, but that's a long story. I really just need to get something more appropriate to wear.
Oh my dear, poor you. No. It's not. That's no. I'm not in that. I'm not that kind of. You see, I'm part of the unified. You've heard about the unified?
What is it?
It's you know, it's a cult. It's a cult to God. It's a group of people who devote themselves to live in a peaceful manner, away from violence. Never force nobody into doing anything. Only strive for that imperative, categoric imperative of do good, help others, don't harm anyone, just be never use someone as a mean to an end. So no, you're fine with me, Tess. I just want to help you get some fresh clothes, you know, and take away that obnoxious smell that comes from these garments of yours.
Oh, and
And he smiles. And he
Tess
smiles.
laughs.
He smiles. He's like a 6'4" guy, really skinny, really tall, limber. He walks a little bit like a rock star. You can like a hedge in his movement, like almost like he's dancing. He's always like following a beat. And he's kind. He smells a little bit like spice, like Old Spice. And after a couple corner, you know, of talking and walking, he's talked to you about God. He talks to you about the unified. He wants to. He also talks to you about. Do you remember the name of the drug? Did I mention the name of the drug? I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. I'm sorry.
Right, you did, but I don't know. It's probably on the web page itself.
Yeah. So he talks to you about that substance, that thing. It's not important right now, but I will know for the next time. But
Right.
So he talks to you about that thing and says when you take that, makes you close to God, makes you unified with all the other unified, and you make one as an entity, as God, and you have the ability to become God. And he's super passionate, and he talks about it, and he says if everybody was on the same page, if everybody were unified, there would be no violence in this world. There will be no immorality and social classes. Everybody would be one. And as he says that, he opens the door of the clothing store, and he leads you inside.
And Tess stops as I go in the store. You know, she goes, "You're sweet." He goes, "You're a real idealist, aren't you?" And she kisses him right on the cheek.
Oh yes.
Then starts.
Oh yes, my dear, I am, and I'd like to show you around. I'd like to meet make you meet some people. To me, I'd like you to meet some people one day if you want to. Where do you live?
Well, actually, I need to find an apartment around here.
Oh,
I need to
well,
find a thing.
there's plenty. There's plenty ads. Now that shouldn't be hard to find.
Right. And so even just without thinking about it, I just say, yeah, I just give that command to the veil. Show me the current apartment listings. And I just, start to see them scrolling down, apartments for rent, looking for something that I know I can afford for a while without having to actually make any cred, But as I'm doing that, as that's scrolling, because I imagine everybody's got crap scrolling past them all the time, you can kind of pay half attention to, just like your cell phone. Like when I'm with my girlfriend, she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, so I've got that going on. And maybe what's the preacher's name again? Is it
Joran.
Joran. Okay. It's a Jorn.
Why?
Why? Okay. So maybe Joran's a Paul. Maybe he's not. I'm not sure. But she starts picking out some really nice clothes, but a lot of them are really look like they might be spray painted on, and they're a little bit too revealing. Little bit. Not all of them.
Super sexy clothes.
Super sexy clothes. Like, I mean, it's just she's got a figure on her, and none of these clothes are really going to leave a lot to the imagination. They may cover everything up because it is wintertime, so we're going to be wearing the ponchos and everything, but just somehow she manages to choose the ones that are the most revealing, or the most spray painted on. They're tight.
Yeah. So I need.
Nobody will mistake her for a man.
Yeah. So I need to now I'm gonna use my character for a bit, because I have to. No, not the belief. I'm not gonna use belief. I just want to use the fate.
Right.
I'm supposed to use the fate, but I'm not sure how exactly, because you see, like, it's complicated. You use enlightenment, so I have enlightenment points,
right,
to do stuff. So you use enlightenment to ask questions of yourself, your fate, and other.
Yeah, I'm reading the your playbook, The Seeker, now.
Because I have something, I have to, my fate must be zealously spread. So I have something called want. You have plus preach. So I should preach. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I think I see. So what I need to do is I need to do a move to force you to not dress that way, because I have morality, and one of my belief anyway, my character will be to try to force you to stop. My belief is, even if Tess is not human, she should renounce to her practices, right?
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna when you want to get to do something you want, so sway.
Yeah, you're trying to sway me. I got you. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna sway, and right now I am sad, because I feel pity for you. So Joran sees you coming out of the, sees you picking up these clothes and going into the changing. So I see you picking up these clothes and going to the fitting room, to try the clothes, and go, and then you go out. You come out. Tess, you come out of the thing, and I see all this skin and the sexiness and the really, really short skirt and the really and you clearly look like a prostitute, right? And then because this is something interesting. I don't know if I would roleplay that. Let me know what you think. I have my eyes. I have amplification, so I'm going to use my cybernetic eye. And I also have a move called piercing gaze, which is a spatial move. When you probe someone, you may always ask, what is your character really feeling? For free.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probe you, but I have my cybernetics. So I have a scan, and the scan is how did you kill her? You may begin with whichever cybernetics you so choose. For each piece you choose, assign the appropriate. So cybernetics. When you find someone willing to install, okay, no cybernetics. When you use technological tag, all right.
Right.
Scan. I guess scan doesn't exist. What I wanted to do was to see multi-spectrum, can see multiple wavelengths. Is that so?
Right. You're trying to check her out in like every possible wavelength, aren't you?
Scan, yeah. I want to.
I think Joran's just a pervert. He's really just he's trying to check her out.
I want to be able, because the thing that I wanted with this thing is that I want to be able to. What's wavelength?
Oh, that's like ultraviolet or infrared or anything like that. I mean, you can see like bees see, or you can see like more like heat vision, you know, so you can see hidden people in the dark. That sort of thing.
Okay,
and
so
I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, you can make up tags for your cybernetics, you know.
Yeah, but I wanted X-ray vision. That's what I wanted. Like I want to be able to X-ray. That's what I wanted. That's the idea. I just don't know how to say. So it's X-ray. So
okay.
the thing it's that X-ray, and the tag. The tag is scarred.
Okay.
What? Yeah. So my eyes, meaning scarred means that the cybernetic appear.
Yeah.
It shows, isn't it? That's what scarred means.
Well, either that or your face is scarred around it. I'm not sure. Or the cybernetics have like are pretty beat up. Might not be the best looking glass eyes in the business.
That's what it says. That's what it is, scarred.
Scarred, yeah. I think your cybernetics are kind of beat up. But let me just double check. Let me close this one and take a look at the other one.
Because I have the and then when I roll, is it just a +1 or what?
I think so. Yeah. If you're whatever I'm sorry, whatever emotion you're using or state you're using, yeah.
So it's a +1. Cybernetic just gives you a +1. That's all.
I don't think the cybernetics actually really don't give you any pluses. You just I think it's more of like a narration, unless you're.
Okay, I see. So yeah, so I probe you because I know. Okay. Let me narrate. So I see you coming out, and I see you all sexy and acting all sexy and stuff in the clothes, and I'm like, and so Joran, you know, when he lifts his head, he takes away the his hoodie thing that was almost, you know, that was hiding his eyes. All you've seen was his mouth and the bottom of his face. So he lifted that up, and now you see his face. And he has like a short haircut, you know, clean with some designs and scriptures that are shaved all around the bottom part of the scalp,
right.
and he's looking at you in the eyes. You see some like flashes of pictures. So it's normalized, but you see these things going in his eyes. And so I'm gonna do probe. So I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, and I think if they
sad is a 0 for me.
Right.
And my intention is to find out about you, like find out what's your purpose, you know, like that. So I have 9. So that means that you do probe is on old 1. So I can ask one question. For the first question is, I'm looking at you and I'm like, do dressing like that in this neighborhood, in this part of town?
It just seemed like the clothes I should buy. Why, don't you like them?
No, not at all. And right now, while you asking me this question, how do you feel? How do you really feel about yourself?
Well, and so I saw him for a little bit. I said, I'm really a little scared right now, Joran. I'm just not sure. I know I'm not safe. I'm not sure. I need to find some place to live. I need to just get myself settled in here.
He smiles kindly. He gets closer. Put his hand on your shoulder. He wrap your shoulder around with the jacket that's there to hide some of the skin, and then I'm gonna sway.
Okay.
I'm gonna oh man, I have too many sheets. I'm kind of lost in my sheets.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna sway. I'm gonna try to tell you to buy proper clothes and to change your behavior, right? According to that kind of this is, you know, they're trying to force you to do that. And I have another 9, and I was still sad, so it's a 0. So in a really like pitiful and kind, gentle voice, he says, "Listen. So wait, so on a hit they do it and choose 1. On a 7-9, choose 2.
Right.
You're gonna owe them some serious cred."
Oh, you've got what did you actually roll?
9.
You rolled a 9. Okay. I was just looking at player versus player stuff here, but let me just see if there's anything else that says.
Oh no, it doesn't. I don't think it's a. Yeah, player versus player. I don't think it makes a difference.
Didn't say a heck of a lot over there about that sort of thing. But let me just see. Let me just see the other thing. It'll be great when I know how to do this all the time.
Yeah, so but I think you just we will have obligation toward one another.
Right. Yeah.
So sway on a 9, 7, choose 2. So you're gonna owe them some serious cred. Your own obligation is in question now. You're gonna need to give them something now instead of later. You need to do them a favor. You need to give a piece of yourself to them, body or heart. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do it, baby, but I'll dress nice, baby. But what are you gonna do for me?
When I hit, they do it and choose 1. Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, but
wow. Oh, I got it. All right, I got to commit. So
you got 9. You got 2 things you're gonna.
And I choose, and I choose myself, or you choose? The GM chooses? No, I choose.
You can choose.
Yeah. No, when they say the MC choose, they say so.
Right.
Okay, so
and how are you?
I will have to do it. I'm gonna do a favor.
Right.
And I'm gonna have to give you something now instead of later.
Right.
So I'm like, listen, Tess. And I put my hand on the shoulder, and I'm close to you, and I get my thing back, and I grab you by the shoulder kindly, and I'm like, listen, you cannot dress like that. You know, in the eye of God, You know, you're a child of God. Dressing like that will let me explain something to you. If you go outside in these parts, dressing like a prostitute, men are gonna be, you're gonna provoke men in a way that they will do some mean things. It will trigger some violence maybe, and then no wonder why they want to have sex with you or rape you like it happened today. So you need to buy yourself some proper clothes. Don't buy this kind of stuff, and try to behave on the street, because you're a really beautiful individual. And he paused a little bit. He doesn't say girl. He said, you're a really beautiful individual.
So, all right, Joran. Maybe I'll buy something a little different. But I need help getting an apartment today. Do you think you'd help me?
Yes, of course, of course.
So she starts picking out some more appropriate clothes. They're not ultra conservative, but they're not. She's not dressing like a tramp at this point. Looking a little bit more professional. She you know, she doesn't pick out as many outfits as she did before, but she picks out a few outfits and some decent clothes. She just has the cred, just to pay for all of it, which is kind of odd considering how she was dressed. but you know, as you take her apartment hunting, or right before you leave the store, she said, "So it's obviously those cybernetic eyes of yours. They're scarred. They're not the best looking ones in the world." She goes, "When did you get those put in?"
Oh, a friend of mine did it. It's really useful. You see, I do some street preaching, and actually, this is where I want to bring you. I think Sam, on the other side of the street where I street preach, above his bar, he has a nice little nightclub. You know, it is nice for the neighborhood. You know, it is what it is. But I think on the second floor there's an empty apartment that is available. So I'll bring you to Sam. You know, we'll have a chit chat. And so yeah. So I'll show you where I street preach. I have my corner. But you know, this is not an easy job, and it gets crazy sometimes. So I needed some gears to help me see the threat in advance, right? To be able to protect myself, because I don't want to, you know, in the eye of God, I cannot cause harm. If you see, I don't have weapon. I'm not harmed. So I have to be on the defensive and passive aggressive. So I need to see the threat coming. So yeah. So a friend of mine got me some cheap on the black market. Yeah.
Wow. So what can you see with those?
Mainly X-ray, and I have some enhanced ears. So I hear amplified sound.
X-ray, and she gets this look on her face, and that generally just a woman in a bar gets on her face right before she goes on with a guy, and she goes, "You weren't trying to check me out underneath my clothes, were you?" X-ray vision.
He's like, no, actually, the way I calibrate it, it's mainly to see if someone's human or cybernetics or half and half or robot, or you know. So if it, because some in the sprawl, someone can have a cybernetic under his coat, in his arm, and it looks like a real arm, you know, and sometimes you don't see it, and next thing you know, there's a chainsaw. In there.
That's it, man.
I got it.
I saw that shit coming.
Yeah, you saw that shit coming. All right.
I saw it coming. Like, oh my god, here comes the chainsaw. Holy shit, that's great.
I told you.
Yeah, here comes the chainsaw.
There will be a chainsaw arm.
All right, back from the middle. Yeah, so Tess doesn't say anything. It looks like she almost says something, but then doesn't. But I see. We, unless you want there anything different, we go down to Sam's. We see the construction
Yes.
site. We see the construction site across the street.
Yeah, but this is the favor. But
Well,
I have to give you something now in this scene.
right.
So the favor is the apartment. I'm
All right.
gonna do you this favor, and the
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I have to give you something now before we go there.
Huh. What do I want at this exact moment? So she looks for a second. You tell her the whole thing with the cybernetic with the eyes and everything, and Joran, do me a favor. Promise me that if I ever ask you for some help, that you'll look out for me.
Always, my dear. And he grabs your hand and he gently kiss the top of your hand. In a really dandy. He looks like a cyberpunk dandy. Right. Basically, that's the whole idea of this guy. And so right. you kiss your hand, and you guys go walk down the street. So I have an obligation toward you now, right?
I think so, yeah.
But this mechanic, I don't know yet. I have to go back, and I have no information about the obligation on the sheet here that I know. So this is something that I know I need to look into.
Although I'm not sure if it's a real official obligation. I mean, it's definitely, there's an honor part of this game. So I've just asked you to kind of.
Yeah, we will remember.
Right.
We will remember. But there is a mechanic with obligation, so it can become something mechanical as well. But we will take a look on another time.
Right.
So you go down a couple blocks. The snow still falling. Now the streets is just a grayish mud, and there is it's a grayish mud because there is some part of the streets that are warmed, by some wires that creates heat under the concrete. But the thing is that it's the sprawl, and sometimes it's tacky, it's raggedy. Some places it works, some places doesn't work. And when it snows too much, too fast, and it gets really cold, sometimes it works just enough to create ice, and it's become just nasty and disgusting. So people wear spikes on their boots sometimes just to make sure that they don't fall and stuff. And there is some at the side of the building at the base of the walls of the building and on the side of the sidewalk, where there's the 90-degree angle like that, there is some spray that sends some product called like Alaskan. I don't know if you guys have that in the US, but it's a liquid that has the effect of salt, so it doesn't get icy. So sometimes you walk and you get that spray on the side of your boot, and it smells like shit, and it's really disgusting part of the apps. And so a couple blocks away, you guys arrive, and there is it's a section. There is a construction building. A building in construction that is in front on the other side of the street, and building a gigantic structure that is on construction. There is in the winter they have plastic, long plastic thing that falls in the wind. There is lights and mechs there are smaller mechs that are not the same shape or same model that the ones that are destroying the highway, but they are around, surrounding the building. It's closed today. There is some lights that spins red, surrounding the area of the construction site, and some SafeX officers that are patrolling around in the area. The streets is kind of wide in this part, a little wider than it was where you bought the clothes. And so as you arrive at the corner, Joran shows you right next on the right side of the construction building, and on the other side of the street, he points and he says, "You see that corner right there, where it's a little, where the after the construction site, on the other side. This is my corner. the sidewalks are wider. You know, in New York City, sometimes when you get to a corner, and it becomes super wide. So this is where I go. The SafeX guys there, they know me. They know I don't make trouble, and I'm all about, you know, they tolerate us, the Unified, because we preach non-violence. So they let me do my thing. Couple hours. I bribed them a little bit, but they let me do my thing. And as you walk and as you show, you see on right on the other side of the street. This is the Belzebut nightclub, and this is where my friend Sam is, and let me introduce you to him. And so as you guys get inside the Belzebut club, the snow is still falling. There is the Belzebut it's a neon sign, old school neon sign,
right?
Violet and gold, and it writes in attached letter Belzebut kind of thing, right, like that, and it disappeared and it writes again, and it disappeared and writes again, and then there's a cycle of that going on, and then after 3 times it goes Belzebut, it writes again. He writes again, and as you enter the club, it smells like alcohol because it's daytime, right? So it's empty. It smells like alcohol, and at the end, at the bar, at the end of the room at the bar, there's a early '60s guy, super hipster, pump jacked, steroid, big veins, tattoos. White hair, clean cut, like a T-top thing. It's white man. But as he turned around, his white skin is albino. It's a black man, but albino, so he looks white. Has a T-top like that, and he looks at you. He turns around, he sees you guys, and he says, "Oh, well, Joran, what you got here?" And then this is how I will end our first session, the prelude.
Right on.
So what do you think? 2 hours?
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good intro. I was wondering how the hell we knew each other. So that's apparently, despite the fact, I imagine our characters are going to be arguing with each other all the time, but somehow.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Well,
it doesn't have to be a confrontation.
No, well, I don't mean a confrontation, but you know those two friends, those two people that really like each other, they love each other, but there's one thing they disagree on, and they always argue about it.
Yeah, probably, right. So we'll see.
That kind of thing.
But what I wanted is a prelude for you as a player, for your character to get started, because the way I want to start the game, the first situation is that corner, that street corner.
Right. Yeah, I saw you said that.
You know, the Belzebut. I street preach on the other side. You live on top of the club, where you do your prostitution job.
All right. All right.
Because I didn't convince you not to do it. I just convinced you not to buy these clothes. But just, you know, right. So 6 months later, we'll see what the dynamic will be.
No, I like that. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So now you know Sam. You know the guy in the club. So we have an NPC established there. We have the situation. All we need is Anthony's how he's gonna implement there. So maybe he's a client at the club. Maybe he's just a walking by.
I think his gig was he was working for the construction company.
Oh yeah. He was a security guy so that's how I know him.
Yeah.
That's how I know him.
I think both of us are kind of a threat, but not really. We're just both a threat to productivity. Because I think if you preach too much, you're a threat to productivity, and me just being there might be a threat to productivity, because the guys might not be working, they might be over with me. So
yeah, and I established in the setting there is tension between workers.
Right.
And he's a character that comes from that level, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So it's I think we have everything down for starting a good campaign.
No, I like it.
Now, what do you think? Do you have a little time to chit chat about the game? Maybe like 15 minutes?
Absolutely.
So what do you think about the way I GM, or the way I describe stuff, or the interaction and the role play?
That was good. I got a lot. It depends on game masters. Like sometimes I don't like a lot of description, but I could definitely follow like the way you were setting up scenes. So like it was really easy for me to visualize everything.
And then I stop talking and I let you do something with it. That's basically my approach. You know, I don't ask questions. You know, but you know me. You've listened to my videos. You know how I do it. But tonight it's really weird because your character, I'm allowed to tell you what you know.
Right.
That's weird. But I'm not gonna do it too much because I will consider that in 6 months, all these little you've been around. So sometimes when it's gonna be interesting, I'm gonna be boom, and you're gonna be surprised, right? I'm gonna use it as a
right. No, that's cool because but I think for this particular character, that's really compelling because that's like, why do I know that?
Yeah, it's relevant. It's relevant. And also, you know what I did? I inject an infinite amount of money in the group. But the thing, though, is I give you the responsibility to do something or not with it because it's your character. We don't know. Joran doesn't know you have all that money, right?
Right.
And the thing is that even if you have all that money, you still prostitute. So why the fuck are you doing that? You have the money, and then there's. So I gave you this. I thought it was interesting to allow that just for an interesting component, right? We can. That means if we want, we can have all the weapons. We can fucking do so many things, but it's gonna depend on your character, and we don't have to know that. I'm the only one who knows.
Right.
As a player. Right?
Now that's interesting. I mean, usually I'm a little bit more aggressive as a player. I mean, I'm still just kind of trying to I keep looking at the character sheet, like what am I supposed to do, or like I don't want to start doing things and realize all of a sudden like, oh, that's a move and I should have rolled for that, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is that I never played Powered by the Apocalypse game. It's the first time.
Right.
And it's really weird, this game, because I have the book, the original book, the Powered by the Apocalypse World.
Yeah. Right.
And I've read it many times because it's a classic RPG book. There is so many good stuff in it. But I was never able to get a sense of what the experience is. When I was reading 7C second edition, I could see it. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
When I'm reading,
that's easy to figure that out. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This one, I cannot. I'm reading and I'm like, what is it to play that game? I cannot figure it out. I think it's the only RPG game. There was Fate as well. First time I read it, I cannot picture it out. I cannot make sense of it. Now that we play, I'm like, oh shit, this is really smooth. You know, it's a smooth. After a couple session, we know the move. Once you get to know the move, you don't have to look at the sheet. You don't even have to mention the move. You don't even have to say, I'm gonna probe. You can just, I look at the guy and do this and that, and you narrate. And then when you get used to it, you narrate.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, you just continue your narration, and when you're done, you say, "This is probe." You roll, and we do. You know. So I think
it seems a lot of them seem like a guide. I remember, like, it's funny, like, because I bought one of those one of the bundle of holdings had a whole bunch of Powered by the Apocalypse games. So I got a bunch of those. I read a few. I still have some I haven't read. I got the Apocalypse World. I've got like Mythos World, which is one of the, Anthony said, was one of the easiest ones to just kind of read and understand. But all of them, the moves are a little different, you know. And I actually watched this one video. I think I linked it and sent it to the group, or maybe in our group messenger. And I don't know how good the YouTube video is. I watched it, but it was a bunch of people that were enthusiasts about Powered by the Apocalypse, talking about running it and playing it. And just like, you know, some of the nuances of doing it. It was funny. They got to the point about moves, and almost all of them were like, "Yeah, there's too many moves, and you have to get to the point where you realize you're not looking at the page, or you're not looking at the rules. You kind of know, okay, that's a this move, or that's a that move." So I think it's some of it's genre specific.
Yeah, but that's the reason. That's the reason why this game has been so act, right? Because all you have to do is you keep the structure and you change the names.
Right.
You change the questions a little bit, just rephrase it, and you have a new game, right?
Right.
So that's what they do, and it's like you said, genre specific, right? So
yeah. And this is the first one I've seen. I mean, I'm sure there's other ones where usually I've seen them where if you roll a 6 or below, you just screwed up. You're the game master gets to do something, and if you roll a 10 or more, you got exactly what you wanted. But most of the other games I've seen where you get a 7 and 9, you get kind of what you wanted, but there's a complication. A little bit more like Fate. Where in this one, a lot of times you still get what you want, but you maybe don't get as much. Like I noticed that like in some of these, if you roll a 10 or more, you get 3. You get 3 hold. You can spend all these things. But if you roll a 7 or 9, you only get 1 or 2. So you still. It seems like this game is geared towards a little bit more success than some of the other ones. Like it doesn't introduce as many complications.
Yeah. Well, for example, you're right. When I could, because there is difference, right? Like when you got a 7-9 with the mech outside of the abandoned building, the complication was it's locked and the guys are coming out.
Right.
But the guys are dumb.
Right.
You're stronger, and a locked mech for a character like yours, it's not a big problem. So. In my eyes, right? So, and we gave her a lot of power. Your character is super powerful. Like you know how to deal with that. You know how to do that. You can run for 5 hours. There's no problem. So your character is really potent. So I think that's what we established today. But I just want to finish with the complication. So the complication was soft. Right. But I could have brought you a complication that was like, okay, so it's so cold right now that your computer is not, you're a robot, so you start to move slow. Now you're slow. You cannot, and so and gave you, I don't know, let's say -2 for everything, or I don't know. I would have created a rule. No, I would have give you some harm maybe, or some stuff. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe a -4 forward, like -1 forward or something like that. I don't know if it works, if we can do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to read it again.
I don't know, but anyway, so I would have give you something like that, but that would have been way more complicated. But the problem is that it would have. I mean, it was already slow. The beginning was slow. Nothing was happening, and you just wanted to go and let's go, just go. Let's just go. So to me, it was that it was a choice to make it soft, but I could have made it a way more complicated stuff. Like I think. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think the complications necessarily have to be really that hard. Like it seemed like when I failed, when I got that 6, and then next thing you know, you had that guy, pretty much kick my ass, and that was great. That was perfect. The thing is, what I noticed with this particular Powered by the Apocalypse game is there's a lot of times when you do roll that weak hit, where in other games, like in Apocalypse World, you would always get a complication. It didn't necessarily have to be a bad complication.
Yeah, but this one,
in this game, it's like in this game, a lot of times you don't get a complication, you just don't succeed as much.
Yeah, I know.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, just like the veil, like you reveal a little bit.
Right.
All right. So there's not much happening. Okay.
I personally like those, like in Apocalypse World and stuff. I like those complications. I think that's great when you succeed, but like the mech's locked, or you do this, but it constantly keeps it like you're always on your feet.
In Burning Wheel, always. There's I always create those complications, and the game runs itself. The thing though, maybe if we think it's too soft, we can just do it that way. It won't break the game. It will raise I'm pretty sure it would just raise the. I think it would make it more fun actually, because because when you said I want to lift the veil, it was like useless the way it happened.
Right.
And I don't like that. When a roll should never be useless to me in my book. Whenever you roll, even if you get just a little information, you should not. In my book, you should not just roll and then I say nothing special, or whatever, because it reminds me of like D&D when you sometimes you say can I do a perception check? Yes, you do the perception check. Do I see this? no, there's nothing to see. It's like it's
Yeah.
a waste of time. It's useless. It should not be there. So yeah, maybe we could play like that. We'll ask Anthony if he wants to. But at the same time, you know, lifting the veil is a special move. I mean, it's not a special move in the game, but I mean, it's a specific kind of move where you're not just going on the internet. You're actually interacting with the reality. So, but yeah. But anyway, I had fun. It was nice. It was nice, and all these mistakes we've made, we're not gonna make them again. So it's gonna be way better for the first session.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm all about, like, you know, doing, you know, learning by doing. So that I didn't mind, you know, hemming and hawing there and whatnot. And I kind of like that. I like having that scene rather than just imagining Tess, like, you know, what it would have been like. I kind of playing through that, you know, where she's like, Jesus Christ, what's happening?
Yeah. So now that you've done that for yourself, it's kind of cool for you as a player, because when you're gonna be embodying her 6 months later, when we start the actual campaign, you're not gonna have to be that character again, because it's 6 months later. Now she knows a little bit more. She knows people. She understands that she has a past, but it's weird. But you know, but she's more effective. She's not lost. Like, you know, she will have some. So it's interesting it's cool for you to play that prelude, because it actually gives you some meat and potato, like the foundation of, you know, what you're gonna do, right? It's always fun anyway to do a prelude, but
no, but it was immersive. I understand the character better, and I understand the relationship between our two characters better now. You know, it's not just that we say, oh, they know each other. Now I know exactly why they know each other, how they met, how they had that first kind of scene, you know.
And it's really interesting because the buying the clothes scene could have seemed trivial, but it was a great scene because it creates the foundation of the friendship. It's like this is where this is how they get along. This is how they got to know each other. This guy has a special morality thing, and she is acting sexy.
Right.
Yeah. So it's fun.
Well, that's cool, man.
All right. So thank you very much again. And
I'm going to put this link up in the group.
Yeah.
So you guys should be able to access it. I mean, it's probably going to take an hour to process, but once it gets through, the two of you ought to be able to watch this.
And we play Monday morning, Monday 10 a.m.
Yeah, as far as I know, unless he changes it again. But
yeah, and
we'll find out.
It's gonna be 3 hours max.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Right. Okay, perfect. So thank you very much. See you around.
Oh, you too, man.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Stop on the broadcast.